Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narnarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamashloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankajanaabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisance. Thank you so much to all the Vaishnavas for joining in this reading of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 11. King Indra annihilates the demons. So yesterday we were reading that how King Indra was practically covered with like a cloud of arrows, hundreds and thousands. The first when King Bali fell down, then Jambasur came, then Jambasur was his head was chopped off, then came 3 demons. Who remembers the names of those 3 demons? Without saying, who can tell? Tarun Prabhu knows. Yes, please tell. Yeah, please reply. Please answer.
Yes, Prabhuji. Namuchi, Bala, and Paka.
Nice, nice. Yes, so these 3 demons, Namuchi, Bala, and Paka, they started to attack Indra, and that's what we read till text number 25. So today we will read forward and see what happens next in text number 26 onwards. Tatastu turashad ishu baddha panjarad vinirgataha sashvaratha dvajagranihi babhau dishakham prithivim charochyan swatejasa surya iva shapatyaye. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thereafter, Indra released himself from the cage of the network of arrows, appearing with his chariot, flag, horses, and chariot driver, and thus pleasing the sky, the earth, in all directions. He shone effulgently like the sun at the end of the night. Indra was bright and beautiful in the vision of everyone. So, in this verse, we see Indra was able to release himself from that attack of hundreds and thousands of arrows by the 3 demons who were attacking. And not just those, there were other demons as well who were trying to attack King Indra. But now there's like a sun arising from the dark, so let's see what happens next. Anyone wants to read? It was not read in the last couple of days. Not got a chance even once. Okay, Taran, if you want to read, please. Yeah, please start.
I can.
Yes, Vijay Mataji, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Text 27. Nirikshye prutnam devah parebhya ditam rane udachyada ripum hantum vrajadaro rusha. When translation, when Indra, who is known as Vajra Dhara, the carrier of the thunderbolt, saw his own soldier opposed by the enemies on the battlefield, he became very angry. Thus, he took up his thunderbolt to kill the enemies. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, name of Indra is Vajradhara. Do you know, anyone knows any names of Krishna with the word Dhara or Krishna or his incarnations? Who knows?
Dhanurdhara is Sri Rama.
Dhanurdhara, very nice. Anyone else?
Narasimha.
Narasimha. So, there is Dhara there. We're looking for that word Dhara.
Giridhara. Like that?
Yes, yes. Giridhara. Giridhari. Anyone else?
Murlidhara.
Murlidhara, Murlidhari. Yes. Very nice. Murli is flute. What holds the flute? Very nice.
Also called Venudhari.
Venudhari. Very nice.
Vamshidhari, Chakradhari.
Sudhari, Chakradhari, Giridhari. Haladhara. Balramji is called Haladhara. So here Indra is addressed as Vajradhara, one who carries Vajra or the thunderbolt. So in this way we can meditate upon the wonder, so many wonderful, tens and hundreds of names with the word Dhara, Leela Dhara. So now Indra is back in action. First he was covered like a dark cloud, but now he is back in action. So let's see what happens when he took up his thunderbolt. Did it work or no? Let's see. Text 28. Yes, someone would like to read? Jyoti Mataji, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Text 28. सतेनैवाष्टधारेण शिरसि बालपाकयोः ख्यातीनां पश्यतां राजजहारजनन्यभयम्. Translation by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King Parikshit, King Indra used his thunderbolt to cut off the heads of both Bala and Paka in the presence of all their relatives and followers. In this way, he created a very fearful atmosphere on the battlefield. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Quite straightforward. Thank you, Mataji, for reading. So Bala and Paka are gone. in front of all their relatives. Interesting. Okay, I think we'll move on unless anyone else has any other comments to add here. 29.
इससे मेरे के भी आना
Okay. Tarun Prabhu, you want to read? Looks like you want to read. Please start.
Yes, Prabhuji. Text number 29. Namo chistade vada drishtva shokamarcharu shanvitha jigham shur indram narpati chakra paramodyama. Translation. Okay. Nauji, another demon, saw the killing of both Bala and Paka. He was full of grief and lamentation. Thus, he angrily made a great attempt to kill Indra. Yes, Roji.
Thank you so much for reading so nicely. So his two other friends are gone. Now Namuchi is further getting more angry, trying to take revenge from King Indra. Let's see if he was successful or not, or he got the same destination as his friends. Yes, wants to read. Prabir Prabhu, want to read? Are you in a position to read, or you want to?
I'm not positioned to read.
Sure,
Sorry.
sure. Okay. Anyone else wants to read?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
Text 30. Ashmasharam ramyam shulam gandavad bhushanam pragya abhyadrvat krudo hatositi vitarjayan prahino devarajaya ninadan mragarat eva. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Being angry and roaring like a lion, the demon Namuchi took up a steel spear, which was bound with bells and decorated with ornaments of gold. He loudly cried, "Now you are killed." Thus, coming before Indra to kill him, Namuchi released his weapon. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, we'll move on. Prabhupada has not given purports to these, so we will also just move on. I don't want to repeat the translation again, so we all read it. Let's see what happened in this fight between Namuchi and Indra, who was victorious. Anyone wants to read next verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Tadatpatad gunatele mahajavanam vichi jadi hatpir ishubhi saha sartha tam adharan nrapa kuli sena kandhare rusan vitas tridadasa patiya siroharan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Right? O King, when Indra, King of Heaven, saw this beautiful spear falling towards the ground like a blazing meteor, he immediately cut it to pieces with his arrows. Then, being very angry, he struck Namuchi's shoulder with his thunderbolt to cut off Namuchi's head. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So Namuji got the same destination as his friends, Bala and Paka. Ultimately, wherever there is dharma, then that side will be victorious. That's the verdict of the Supreme Lord. Who knows that verse? Raise your hand if you know that verse. Anyone? Knows that? Repeat, please. Anyone?
As-
Sorry? Yes, Vipul Pro.
yeah, I can read. Hare Krishna devotees, downward pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Natasya hi tacham api vajra urjito viveda yashura pati na ujas sarita tad adbhutam param atibhira bratobhit tya shrito namochi shirodharo tacha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki joy. Although King Indra hurled his thunderbolt at Namochi with great force, it could not even pierce his skin. It is very wonderful that the famed thunderbolt that had pierced the body of Vritrashura could not even slightly injure the skin of Namochi's neck. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. So, looks like this Namuchi is the special powers, and then there is mention of Vritrasur here. We have read the story of Vritrasur. He was such a like extraordinary demon in disguise of and or a devotee in disguise, rather. But this Indra's thunderbolt, which killed so many people like Bali, Jambasur, Bala, Paka, and others, could not harm Namuchi. He must be having some special powers. Let's see what happens further in the fight. Yes, Maswati Mataji wants to read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam to devotees. Text 33. Tasmat Indra Vivech Chatrar Vajraha Pratihato Yataha Kim Idam Daiva Yogena Bhutam Loka Vimohanam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Indra saw the thunderbolt return from the enemy, he was very much afraid. He began to wonder whether this had happened because of some miraculous superior power. Purport. Indra's thunderbolt is invincible, and therefore, when Indra saw that it had returned without doing any injury to Namuchi, he was certainly very much afraid. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yeah, there is no additional comment unless anyone else wants to add anything. We'll see. I mean, Indra is confused because this is like unprecedented. So let's see what happens. Text 34. Anyone wants to read?
Can I?
Yes, please.
येन मे पूर्वमद्रीनं पक्षच्छेद प्रजात्यये कृतो निवेशतं भारे पत्रहे पततं भुवि. Translation. Prabhuji, Indra thought formerly when many mountains flying in the sky with wings would fall to the ground and kill people. I cut their wings with the name Thunderbolt.
Very nice. How old are you?
Prabhuji, I am 9 years old.
You read the Hindi or you read this English verse? Read from this. You read from this. Huh?
English.
English? Someone taught you? You read very nicely. Where to pause, where to emphasize. Where did you learn this? Very good. Is citing very nicely according to her age. So coming back to Indra's mind, let's think about this his whole mindset that this weapon was never whenever he used this weapon, everyone was put to death. But this Namuchi had probably some special powers or something. Indra is thinking that this is the same weapon I have chopped off wings of hundreds of mountains, and then what's going on? It's the same weapon. What's happening now? So let's see. 35. Yes, Subhat Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees. Text 35. Tapasaramaya tvastram bhrutayena vipatita anyachapi bolopeta sarvastrair akshatatvacha. Translation. Bhrutasura was the essence of the austerities undergone by Tvasta, yet the thunderbolt killed him. Indeed, not only he but also many others stalwart heroes whose very skin could not be injured even by all kinds of weapons were killed by same thunderbolt. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Again, Indra's confusion is, or lamentation, we can say, that what is this going on? It was the best, actually. Like, from here, we can understand that it was the best he had. Because for other heroes whose skin could not be injured by all kinds of weapons, were killed by the same thunderbolt. In short, what we can understand that he had other weapons also, which he used for some other heroes in the past. And Vritrasur being a classic example, Vritrasur himself told, hey, you used the thunderbolt given to you by Lord. And then, because it was a divine arrangement of the Lord. So, in short, his best didn't work. Therefore, he is confused. Therefore, he is lamenting.
I have one quick question.
Yes, please.
It seemed to say earlier that his head was cut off, but is that an illusion, like Ravana grows another head or something?
For the other demons like Bala and Paka?
No, for Namuchi. I think it said that earlier.
I think, Prabhu, it said it didn't cut off. It didn't injure his neck, right?
few verses back, I thought it said his head was...
No, two cut off. Then he struck Namuji's shoulder with his thunderbolt to cut off
Oh,
his
two cut
head.
off. Okay.
Yeah, but
Actually,
his,
it
his desire was that, but it didn't happen. Therefore, Indra is now lamenting or thinking about the past heroic deeds, the past heroic feats he had achieved with the thunderbolt.
Okay, thank you. I misunderstood. Yeah.
No, nobody's trying.
Hari Bol, Dandavats.
Yes, Mataji.
Hari Bol. It says he could not even slightly injure the skin of Namuchi's neck on the text 32 end. Do you see that, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
And then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, amongst the weapons, he's thunderbolt. So it's definitely the strongest. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. You want to read next verse?
Sure, Prabhu, I can read. I'm sorry I lost the track, the page.
6.
34, yes, Prabhu. Soyam pratihato vajro maya mukto surel kape naham tadadadev dandam brahma tejo apyakaranam. Per translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. But now, although the same thunderbolt has been released against a less important demon, it has been ineffectual. Therefore, although it was as good as a Brahmastra, it has now become useless like an ordinary rod. I shall therefore hold it no longer. Prabhu, you can add. There's noise at my end.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Vitrasur is Vitrasur looks like here Indra is remembering Vitrasur also, because he was quite strong. Now Vitrasur was killed by this demon, and this demon is less important, referring to Namuchi here. But the weapon is not effective. So what's the use of this weapon? I was thinking that sometimes in life also, we may be able to overcome certain thing or a challenge, an obstacle, a difficulty, and sometimes we may get overpowered by that, and then we'll say, well, what's the use of this? What's the use of chanting? I'm still getting back thoughts. Oh, what's the use? It may feel like that. Oh, I've been going for the programs for last 5 years, 10 years. So we should not feel like that. What is the need to hold it any longer? One person just, we're reading a lot of kind of verse after verse. It is thought to lighten the everyone by a story. One person asked, he used to go to sermons, Bhagavatam classes every time, and there was an atheistic person who said, well, you go to these classes every day, you're attending hundreds, and you have attended like now in your 60s, and you have attended classes for the last couple of decades. Do you remember much? He says, well, I don't remember much. I go, but I don't remember. I'm not that intelligent, so I don't remember much. So then he said, what's the use? What's the use to go to these classes? To learn Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, etc., or any philosophical, spiritual matter. Then he gave a very nice reply. He says, well, my wife has been cooking for me for 30 years. Every day she cooks. Do I remember what she cooked 30 years back? No, I don't remember. Do I remember what she cooked 3 years back? No, I don't remember. Do you remember what she cooked probably 3 days back? That also I don't remember. But I know this much for sure. If I would have not eaten that for last 30 years, I would not have been standing here. So similarly, I may not have been, in a position to recollect or remember everything which I read or heard in 30 years or 3 years. But I know for sure that that was my sustenance. If I'd leave this chanting, reading, hearing, I would not be able to sustain myself. That's the very important point. Because, in this 40-minute, 45-minute, we discuss something every day from Bhagavatam. Just by hearing and reading in a sincere mood, the purification is happening. Whether we remember it or don't remember it. It's like taking a medicine. Whether we know the contents of it or we don't know the contents, if we take with faith that, the bona fide doctor has given this medicine, I trust the doctor and I trust the medicine, I'll take it. I don't know the contents, I don't know what's the chemical formula and chemical composition in this. So that's with Bhagavatam. A bona fide teacher, Sri Prabhupada and the Acharyas have given Shukadeva Goswami, Vyasdev, and Kṛṣṇa himself, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Did you see the wonderful video? Did you all see? Raise your hand if you saw the video I shared in the group, the Purnam festival. No? Who all have seen it? Raise your hand. Looks like no one has seen it. So let me lighten everyone by sharing this for our purification. So basically, there's a Purnam. Purna means complete, right? Om Purnamada, the famous verse, Kṛṣṇa is all complete. And Bhagavatam and Kṛṣṇa are non-different, right? We have discussed this so many times, so many verses. So this is a Purnam festival, means 26 years back in Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir, the first verse of Bhagavatam was started. And of course, they maybe have been reading before also, but maybe that cycle started from 26 years back. And now, on 21st January 2021, they read the last verse. I think in Alachua also same thing happened, just maybe a couple of months back. I think somewhere I remember, right? Just a couple of months back, they also had their last verse, and then now they restarted. So let's see how they are wonderfully celebrating this wonderful. It's a short video. You all can relish. Able to hear? Hare Krishna. How was it?
It was
Very
amazing. I was like, I wanted to be there.
It's such an amazing festival.
Just like Vrindavan.
Yes. So that's the Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. And reading Bhagavatam, worshipping Bhagavatam, distributing Bhagavatam, sharing Bhagavatam, remembering Bhagavatam is same as doing all these processes of worship to Krishna himself. So it was really wonderful just thought to share. I was surprised that none of you watched it. So I'm glad that I brought this up. I didn't plan that way, but somehow Krishna wanted, I guess. I don't know. So any comments, questions before we pause for today? Any other additions? Okay. So I guess we will pause here today and continue tomorrow. His Grace Charu Prabhu is going to speak on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam about Bhishma Dev. So it's a very senior disciple, initiating guru. So please join, encourage your friends, and at least one person more. And day after, His Grace Adigadar Prabhu will be speaking on Sunday. So weekends, in the morning, we will be having this Bhagavad Katha. So looking forward to hearing wonderful kathas and wonderful devotees this weekend. So thank you so much. Tantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samavita Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you.